Well, thank you everybody so much for coming out today. We are so excited to announce the first public library to be built in Albuquerque in many, many years. And this is a team effort, and we have so many leaders with us today who have taken it upon themselves over time to make this a reality, and we just couldn't be more excited. This facility at Unser and Central, as I said, will be the first new library in the Albuquerque-Bernalillo library system in decades, and it's fitting that it's located in one of the fastest growing and most vibrant areas of our city. This project, I think, will be really a jewel in the crown of our library system. We've got many people involved with the Bernalillo County Albuquerque library system who go out every day and really try to make this system a world-class system. And this is going to be one of the great projects and one of the great legacies, I believe, in our system. This project is estimated to be complete at the end of 2014, so we're getting started now. As you can see, all of the yellow iron and the bulldozers and the blades and the scrapers are out here moving the dirt right now, and we're under construction. This is an $8.3 million project. It's a large-scale project. It's multi-jurisdictional project as well. Funds for this particular library have come from the taxpayers of the city of Albuquerque to the tune of $6.7 million. So there's $8.3 million project, 6.7 has come from the city. The bond elections in 2009, 2011, and 2013 all show that there's broad community support for this project. A lot of the funds for this also came from our friends in the state legislature, and many of these folks are with us today, and they're going to be saying a few words as we go forward. We also have funds from a private donation from the Friedman Estate and from the ABQ Library, Public Library Foundation. And we have so many folks, and I'm looking around today and I see many faces that are out there every day making sure that our library system is robust. Certainly want to start by thanking Councilor Ken Sanchez for his persistence and his dedication to this project. He's really worked with my administration over the last 4 years. We've worked with Elaine and Councilor Sanchez and his group to make sure that this funding somewhat got accelerated so that we could get this project started. Certainly also to Clarissa Pena for her support. She's a new city councilor, but she's also been a great advocate for this project all along, as well as Councilor Benton, who's really been pushing this project from the beginning. Square footage, this will be a 23,300 square foot project. It'll have 2 levels, as you can see from the renderings. It'll have natural lighting throughout that will illuminate the building through aluminum and glass storefront and glazing curtain wall systems. That will be very nice. It will have an adult general collections area, an adult lounge area, an adult computer area, an adult reading area, as well as a young adult room, 3 group rooms, a children's general collections area, the children's learning center, 6 children's reading areas, a children's computer area. It'll have a quiet reading room, community lecture room, storytelling activity rooms, administrative offices, operational support offices, and of course all of the things that we'd want: restrooms, accessibility support, utility rooms, and all the things that go with a great public project. I certainly want to thank our Rhodey May Keller McNamara Architects for their design on this. Mark Rode is the principal. Steve Teeters is the one of their team members. As you saw when you came in the hard hats that you were wearing, we have a great local construction firm building this, HB Construction. Jason Harrington is the president and CEO. Matt Mulligan and Jen Mullenix is the director of business development there. And of course our city team, Mike Reardon, who's not in town today, but his team from the Department of Municipal Development, absolutely fantastic. Barbara Taylor's here today, who's our CIP official. Stephen James, Dean Smith, who's our Associate Director for Library Services. Dean's right there. And of course Betty Rivera, who's our Director of Cultural Services. These folks all have come together to make sure that this is going to be a world-class project. And with that, we have a lot of folks that want to talk today, and I want to thank them personally, from Councilor Sanchez, Councilor Benton, Councilor Pena, Commissioner O'Malley is with us today, as well as Commissioner De La Cruz. We have Senator Linda Lopez here with us today, Senator Michael Padilla, Senator Sandra Rue, Representative Georgine Luis, Representative Tom Anderson, Representative Patricia Roybal Caballero, and I don't know if Patricia is here today or not. Oh, there you are. There you are. Representative Miguel Garcia, Representative Antonio Mo Maestas. I didn't see Mo. Neighborhood Association representatives. I know that Becky Davis is here today from the Avalon Neighborhood Association, and Eloise Gift for representing the board and the foundation, the trusts, and the Friends of the Library groups. So with that, I'm going to bring up Councilor Ken Sanchez to say a few words, and then we're going to go through and have our elected officials give you a few words. But I just want to say thank you to everybody. This is what teamwork looks like. This is the state, this is the city, this is neighborhoods, it's the Cultural Affairs Department, it's Bernalillo County. It's everybody that has come together, and all these folks up here from the legislature who gave their appropriations to this project over time. That's absolutely discretionary. They have a choice on where they want to put their resources, and they chose to put them into this library project. So I want to say thank you to them. With that, let's bring up Councilor Ken Sanchez, and we'll go from there. Councilor Sanchez.
Thank you, Mayor Berry. When I woke up this morning, I had to pinch myself to make sure I was not dreaming. This is a dream come true for this entire community. And today is an extraordinary day, and today is one of the best days of my life, because one of the saddest days of my life was when they closed the Esperanza Library a few years ago. It was a tremendous loss to this community, and I told myself, if I ever have the opportunity, I will work diligently to make sure that we on the west side and the families here get a regional library for this community. This will be the landmark, and this will be the catalyst of development right here in this community. We met 7 years ago with some of the neighborhood associations, and Clarissa Pena at the time was one of the community leaders. Becky was part of the group, the Rizbacks, the Wheelers, and we talked about what we were going to do for West Central. And one of the things that we had talked about was building a public safety component along West Central. Last year, Mayor, we dedicated the new fire station, and we also talked about a new transit center, and I worked very closely with Councilor Benton on that transit center. We have the new transit center, we have new medical facilities, and we talked about an educational component right here, and everybody said we want a new public library. I didn't know how long that was going to take, or if I would still be in office to see that day, but I am so proud that we are breaking ground today, because this is a great day for this community. And I want to thank Mayor Berry, because he worked on trying to fast track this project. We didn't in any way slow this project down, and we had some tremendous people from our staff that worked day in and day out to make sure that we got this project done in a timely manner. And let me just mention some of those names. I'd like to again recognize Representative Linda Baum and Seal Van Berkel. Seal was on the library board for so many years, and when I went to her the first time, I said, we got to get a new library built on Albuquerque's west side. She goes, Ken, it's going to be awfully tough to do. It's been decades since we built a library here in Albuquerque. But she had the faith and the confidence, she had the dream and the vision, and together with the library board and with this community, we were able to come here today to break ground on what I think is going to be a tremendous jewel for the entire west side. Also, we have Dean Smith, the director of our library services, and the former director is also here, Julia Clark. She worked very closely with me. You know, it's just amazing how many people can come together to make a project like this happen. Betty Rivera, the director of cultural services, Steve James, the project manager for DMD, Dana Feldman, Michael Reardon, Barbara Taylor, and the mayor's already mentioned Barbara, Ed Adams, who is no longer with the city of Albuquerque. He worked closely with us because we had looked at an underground parking initially for this library site, but we needed to try to save some money because we didn't want to wait forever to get this built. And Ed was really instrumental in working with us on that issue. And the magic man with money that works for our department, John Zaman, it's incredible when you tell John what you need done, he can try to find ways to get the resources necessary to get that money together. John, thank you very much. He is now the director of City Council Services. My policy analyst, who sat in on many of those meetings that I didn't sit in on, Elaine Romero, Tom Minicucci, the policy analyst for the council services, the Friedman Trust, and the Albuquerque Public Library Foundation also made a donation for this library. And we just had the kids, I think they were leaving back from Helen Cordero preschool or after school. I want to thank them for coming out and being part of this event. Again, it's going to benefit our children, this new library. It's going to benefit families from Albuquerque's west side. We will have a computer lab in this library, so many people that are out looking for jobs that don't have computers in their home will be able to come down to this facility. It will have a meeting room that will seat 150 people. Hopefully we won't have controversial issues that will require 150 people to come to a meeting, because that's the time you get people to show up at meetings. But again, this I think is going to be a wonderful facility, as the mayor has stated, 23,000 square feet. But we could have not done this with the help of the Bernalillo County Commissioners and our state legislators. We've got a great team of people that really work well together in looking after the best interest of our community. And I've always said, united as a community, there is very little that we cannot do. And today, I think, is a testament of how united we have been on this particular project, and many, many more to come. At this time, I will turn it back to the mayor.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ken. I just want to say congratulate Councilor Sanchez again. As a mayor, we're pretty darn good at getting things done when we have teamwork in place, which we do here, as you can see from all the leaders that are up here today. But each one of these projects, whether it's in the northeast, southeast, the southwest, northwest, they all have to have someone on the city council, county commission driving them, and Councilor Sanchez has really done that. He's really been a great advocate from the very beginning, and so I really appreciate him. Next, I'm going to bring up City Councilor Isaac Benton, who's also been a key player in making sure that this project is taking place today. Councilor.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor, and I just want to thank everyone who's already been thanked and will be thanked again and again as we go through the afternoon. But yeah, it does take teamwork, and this is so important to the community. I used to previously represent the area, and Councilor Sanchez came to me and said, we've got to use our metropolitan redevelopment funds. What can we put together? And so I was happy to jump in and help support the project. We love our libraries. We love our libraries here in Albuquerque, and I'm a big fan of libraries. I've designed a few of them myself as an architect over the years, and they're about lifelong learning. From those little kids that helped, we're thrilled to help us turn all that dirt out there just now, to young adults, to adults of working age who are might be trying to improve their profession, or to seek a new path in life. And then to our ancianos as well. Each one benefits with lifelong learning from our libraries. And I have so much respect for the people who operate libraries and who've dedicated their lives to work in libraries. And this is going to be a state-of-the-art library, I can tell you. We've looked at all the plans over the years, and value engineering is a word that we use when we don't have enough money to get something done. And we value engineered this project, and we got it to a point where we could get it built. Otherwise, we might have been waiting for another couple of years, and this community deserves better than that. So again, thanks to everybody, and congratulations. We'll look forward to seeing the new building.
Thank you so much. Next, I'd like to bring up our newest city councilor, Clarissa Pena, who she may be new to the city council, but she's not new to this area of town, and she's not new to advocacy, and really putting her time, talent, and efforts towards making sure that the West Central and this part in the Southwest Mesa and this whole part of Albuquerque, the whole west side, really flourishes. So, Councilor Pena, would you join us, please?
Thank you, Mayor. I had to take off my heels because I was thinking in the sand. So thank you, Mayor. I'm not going to thank everyone, because one thing that you're hearing that's very consistent, and I'm very proud of, and I was the former president of SWAN, is the teamwork that all these elected officials have really come together to get significant projects in our community done, and that's what it's going to take to revitalize West Central. But who I really want to thank, and I don't know if he's still here, Jerry Gallegos he's the new executive director for the West Central Community Development Group. Of course, we have Becky Davis, Jeanette Baca, and Mr. Louis Tafoya. These are the community members that have come out year after year, and they attend these community meetings, the charrettes, to make these things possible. So they come up with the vision. They look to the team back here, and these people get the job done. So thank you. Thank you.
And we also have City Councilor Trudy Jones with us today, and she's looking at me like I'm not saying anything. Would you like to? Would you like to come up and say just a couple of things? This is. and it's interesting because this may be one of the farthest areas in your district in town, yet here you are. And why is that important? It's important because one of the things that I try to strive for as a mayor, and one of the things that the city council has really done a great job with during my opportunity to serve this city, is to think about their districts and fight for their districts and advocate for their districts, but also to pull back away from that from time to time and look at the city as a whole. And Councilor Trudy Jones has done that, as have all the councilors here today. And so I think it's telling, the fact that we have councilors supporting councilors in different parts of the city, because we are one city, and we're all going to work together to make it even better in the future. So, Councilor Jones.
First of all, I want you all to notice that everything is set up for the mayor, who is not exactly the same height that I am. And then I want to reassure you that I do not have a planned speech. So just thank you. A reminder that we look at every day as counselors. It's very important that we look at this. It does not say in front of our neighbor, on our business card, or anywhere that we are district counselors. We are, in fact, city counselors of the city of Albuquerque. And it's very important that we remember that and help all the districts. Of course, libraries are very near and dear to me. I know that everyone is going to the little pads and the buttons and turn it on and have a battery and charge it, but there is nothing like the experience of going into a library, smelling the books, touching the books, reading the books, and the entire experience. And I pray to God that that will never go away in our society, because that is how our children learn. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for supporting libraries. It's what makes us who we are. Thank you.
It's funny that Councilor Jones mentions that, because Dean Smith and Betty Rivera we were in my office not too long ago talking about this concept of what is a library. And a library has very much changed over time with technology, but it always goes back to the written word, and it goes back to how to get the written word into the hands of those who need it, want it, crave it. And that can be done electronically, it can be done on pages, which I'm the same as you. I want to have a book in my hands. I don't own a Kindle, but I have lots and lots and lots of books. But computers are important, as Councilor Sanchez said. Being able to fill out a job application, being able to get connected to society, to the world, is really important. So points well taken. You know that this isn't the Albuquerque library system, and of course all the advocates here know that. This is the Bernalillo County city library system. And we wouldn't be here today without some integral input from several of our county commissioners. And the first commissioner that I'd like to bring up is Debbie O'Malley. And she's been a real stalwart for this project from the beginning, a great advocate as well. So Commissioner O'Malley, would you please join us?
Thank you, Mayor. It's really wonderful to be part of a celebration of a project that has no controversy whatsoever. Who doesn't love libraries? As was mentioned, libraries have changed. They were places that we went to check out books, but really they've changed and they've become community centers. And it was very obvious to me that that's true, because when the North Valley Library was closed because of the fire, it had a huge impact on the community. People went there to socialize. That became part of their routine. And it's been very frustrating for them that it's taken so long for us to get that taken care of. But really, this is an investment in our social and educational infrastructure in the community. And it has, as was mentioned, long-lasting benefits to people of all ages. So, I want to again recognize Councilor Sanchez. As mentioned, we all, fight for our districts. We get what we can to get the resources to our districts, but it takes the support of a lot of people to get something like this done. So I'm just thrilled that this is gonna. I look forward to visiting the library, and thank you everyone for making this project come to fruition.
Thank you, Commissioner O'Malley. Next, I'm going to bring up Commissioner Art De La Cruz, who's also been just a great advocate for the area, and also for me as a mayor, someone that we've had great conversations over the last 4 years about things we can do between the city and the county, working on everything from redundancies to really just delivering services at a higher level through a coordinated system between the city and the county. And I would like to think that we have some unprecedented relationships built between the city and the county now that are going to allow us to do even more and bigger and great things in the future. So with that, Commissioner Art De La Cruz.
Thank you, Mayor. It takes a lot of people to make things happen, but we do have an amazing leadership team assembled here this afternoon, and I'm just happy to be here with you and to be have a little part in this effort and the future of this library. But I've got to share with you that I had a whole career at Bernalillo County. I was Director of Parks and Recreation from 1988 to 2003. And I spent 25 years at Bernalillo County as an employee, but it wasn't my first government job. My first government job was in 1974 when I walked in as a junior in high school to the main library that was on Edith and Central. It's now, I think, a special or genealogy library now. I was sharing that with Mr. Sabatini, who's over here, who's retired from the library system. And I spent 3 years working in the library system. We actually moved that library to the new city library, which is downtown. And Mayor, that library cost, I was just a page. I was a lowly page shelving books, but I knew this much. The city spent approximately $6 million to build the main library. We couldn't build one floor today with that, at that library. So I value the importance of libraries. I spent time as an employee there because I really wanted to be around books. It was about being around books and people that were around books. And I had access to lots and lots of literature. And I can tell you that it's absolutely important for children to have access to those books and to have those locations where they can find knowledge, where they can find their dreams, where they can explore their future. And so libraries are pivotal, they're instrumental, they're literally refuge for children. Now, one of the things that I do, and I'll close with this, is every year, twice a year, I give books away to children. I go around the community and I give books to the children. And in the books, I always add a little sticker that says, leaders are readers. Libraries are important. Thank all of you. Thank this wonderful team.
Thank you. The mayor is going to have to leave. And Mayor, thank you very much for all of your work on this initiative. Next, I'd like Senator Linda Lopez to please come up and say a few words.
Linda had to take off.
Then had to leave. Okay. Then we now have Senator Jacob Candelaria. He is a freshman in the state legislature, but he is a seasoned veteran. He's doing a great job for this district. Welcome, Senator.
Thanks. Who wants a short speech? I want a short speech. Thank you, Councilman Sanchez, and to all of my colleagues in the legislature. I'll echo one sentiment, which is, as a West Side delegation, we've been incredibly successful for the last, well, since I've been there, which is last year or 2 years, in putting aside the D or the R next to our names and really focusing on what matters to this community. Matters to all of our communities on the west side of the city of Albuquerque. This library will soon be built as a testament to that through the leadership of Councilman Sanchez and the council and the legislators here. We're going to begin construction next year on new off-ramps at 98th and Unser, so there'll be less traffic when you're trying to get home in the evening. And all of these things because we realize that government isn't a place to bicker, government is a place to get things done. So I really welcome you all to my Senate district. We're in the heart of the 26th district. And thank you all for your hard work, and may God bless you, and have a great Christmas and a great holiday and a very happy New Year. That was very short. Thank you all so much. Thanks.
That's the shortest speech I've ever seen the senator give.
That's saying something too.
One of our rising stars in the state senate, a new also rookie in the state senate, but a true veteran, is Senator Michael Padilla.
Thank you very much, President Sanchez. Thank you for having me here. I represent the area that's just south of here. I really want to thank the city, county, and state officials that have really rolled up their sleeves and worked together. But more importantly, I want to thank the neighborhoods. how else would we know what we really need in these areas without the hard work of the neighborhoods? Can we give the neighborhood folks a really nice thank you? And I do want to, Senator Candelaria was really humble when he spoke, but he did a lot of great work coordinating, raising dollars for this project in the legislature. So Senator Candelaria, thank you for coming to me, educating me, and all the rest of the senators on this project. So let's give Senator Candelaria, thank you very much. And so what's going to happen here? This is going to change the face of this area. How wonderful is that? Councilor Pena, our brand new city councilor here, she's doing a great job already. And people like Jeanette Baca and the neighborhoods have done a great job of turning this area around. And that's exactly what we're going to see happen with this beautiful facility. And I think what it's going to do with the kiddos is it's going to give them, did you see them today? I mean, I couldn't get my guy to stop shoveling the dirt. I was worried about my feet. I thought he was going to start digging me up. But what it's going to do is it's going to put a sense of pride, for our students here. They're going to have a sense of pride because look at this wonderful multi-million-dollar, state-of-the-art, world-class facility that's just for them. So thank you all for your work, and thank you for having me here today. Thank you.
I'd also like to invite up Senator Sander Rue. And one thing about Senator Rue, he doesn't play party politics. He does what's right for this community. Whether it's a Republican or Democrat, he always puts his party aside and looks at the best interests of the city. Senator, thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Isn't it great when things really come together? I mean, just in a relatively short period of time, you look at all the wonderful things that have happened in this part of Albuquerque with the dedication of the new fire station, the library, and the transit stop here, and all the things yet that are to be done. It really is a testament to how collaborative, what can be done when people work together collaboratively. And I want to thank a lot of folks here. One thing I will tell you, I'm going to be delighted. I always look forward to seeing Seal in Santa Fe and Councilor Pena and Eloise. I'm delighted they're not going to be in my office now strong-arming me for more capital outlay. But to their credit, I was delighted to do it, and as Councilor Jones made the point, it doesn't say, city councilor of this district such and such. It's city councilor, same thing in the Senate, same thing in the legislature. It's state legislators in the state legislature. I represent an area north of here, but I'm always very interested, and I'm always so willing to help and happy to help anything I can, because this serves the greater community, it serves Albuquerque. So thank you all very much. Many of you weren't mentioned by name. I know a lot of you have been involved in this over the years. Thank you all very much.
I'd also like to acknowledge my sister who is in the audience today, and she used to go to Esperanza Library with us. Linda, thank you for being here. I'd like to bring up our state representatives. Tom Anderson, would you like to come forward, please?
Thank you. I come up today as state representative for House District 29, which is the northwest part of the city. I'm also here as president of the Paradise Hill Civic Association again, and one of my board members who is also a member of the Library Advisory Board, Eloise Gift. I'd like you to let y'all like her. And I'm particularly happy because after 30 years of working, they tell me my library's coming next. Thank you. And if Senator Rue doesn't want to hear, he's going to hear it anyway. But he's working on it because he represents the same part of the city as I do. And I don't know how to say it, but I am so happy. Thank you.
I'd like to bring up our representatives. Louis, please.
Good afternoon, I'm Representative Georgine Lewis, and welcome to House District 26. It's so great to have everyone here today, especially seeing the enthusiasm of the crowd and also the children. It was really great. I was one of those geeks in elementary school that would always read so that I could get like free personalized pizzas from Pizza Hut. So I was like really competitive like that, and I love those. But we all have our competitive personalities sometimes, but as it's been mentioned before, this has really been just a joint effort by everyone. here today, and I think it's absolutely great because I think it's a victory for our children, it's a victory for our community, and I am just going to be so thrilled when it's here because when I was in law school, I remember going to the library on the other side of town to study, and I would also take my daughter, who was about nine at that time, and she would be able to read alongside with me. So, you know, I am, again, just thrilled to be here. Thank you to all the community leaders and to all the community organizers here. You guys are doing a terrific job. Thank you.
And now I'd like to bring up Representative Caballero.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Patricia Roybal Caballero, and I represent House District 13, which is our border neighbor to House District 26. And I just want to say, as we all have expressed today, thank you to the leadership team. However, I want to give a very special thanks to the residents and families through their community organizations and through their advocacy groups who made their voices heard, who came forward and said, this is something that we have identified as a need, as a want, it's our wish list, and through the organizations and through their advocacy groups, they have made it happen. It is a team effort. I also want to say that as a small child, the libraries are very dear to me. I was raised in a family that our reward for good grades was library passes to our library. And we used to think everyone else was going to a movie, and my family would reward us going to the library. But ultimately, those of us that went to the library came out a lot talking about competitiveness. We were competing in school, and we fared a much greater way going to the library, and our time was very well spent. Although I missed out on a lot of the dialogues of the movies, I can quote book after book after book. So I'm thankful for that. Ahora en español les quiero dar las gracias a todos los residentes y las familias que se organizaron bajo sus grupos y que lograron en este esfuerzo para ver que sus familias estén representados, pero también que tengan una biblioteca que les sirven en esta comunidad para que tengan el acceso a oportunidades educativas. Gracias. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Representative. The last speaker I would like to bring up is going to be representing the community, and she was at several of the community meetings over the years. She has been relentless in making sure that this dream came true for this community and for the people that she worked with. But Becky Davis has been a real asset to my office, working with us, working with Carissa. And we'll have one, excuse me, there's going to be two more speakers. But at this time, I'd like to bring up the community representative, Becky Davis, for all of your work. Thank you.
Okay. Mayor Berry asked, what is a library? Well, speaking as a librarian, library is communication coalescing into knowledge, coalescing into wisdom. That is a library anywhere. Okay, my little prepared speech is, dear friends and city leaders, it's been 10 years in seeking land and funds, 9 city councilors debating, 6 bonding cycles, plus or minus, 4 representatives asking, 3 senators pleading, 4 planning meetings, 2 rowdy charrettes, yielding 1 new community library. Yay! Bravo to Council Presidents Ken Sanchez and Elaine Romero for their perseverance, smarts, and phenomenal abilities to create alliances among city, county, and state officials. Did I leave out federal assistance? Okay. Bravos to the council for finally helping to fund this badly needed library on the west side. Bravos to Linda Lopez and all senators and representatives who helped us secure funding for this endeavor. Huge thanks to the community members who begged, badgered, and our officials into making this library a reality. Now, we need a flying star, restaurant, a cinema, 2 more restaurants, a dry cleaners, Whole Foods, office buildings with doctors, dentists, and lawyers. Yes.
No, good luck.
So community developers, community realtors out there, you're there. Please do it. Bring us commercial development so our kids and our neighbors will have jobs. Woo!
City councilors, county councilors, can you hear? You can hear me, I hope. Other government and community leaders, honored guests, I am delighted to be able to participate in this momentous occasion. My name is Eloise Gift, and I am the chair of the Albuquerque-Bernalillo County Library Advisory Board. And this afternoon, I am speaking on behalf of the advisory board, on behalf of the Friends of the Library, and the Albuquerque Public Library Foundation, and also the Richard A. Friedman Trust. A public library plays an essential role in the well-being of a community. It is a critical resource for early literacy development. It is a key success to formal education. It can be crucial for lifelong learning. It is a gathering place, a place for all ages, a place to work, learn, study, reflect, achieve. Someone said a refuge, and also to have fun. And I have no doubt that our own Rodolfo Anaya was thinking about the public library when he wrote, "The library is also a place where love begins." In fact, the public library is a cornerstone in the foundation of the community. The project to build this library is a remarkable achievement of cooperation and collaboration. You've heard previous speakers mention all the people who were involved. Core funding came from the city, the council, and the state treasuries. But over $1 million came from private contributions. The Richard A. Friedman Trust, which supports reading through the purchase of books and the establishment of reading centers, contributed $750,000. The newly formed Library Foundation, dedicated to strengthening the vitality of the Albuquerque Public Library system by raising funds for programs and services essential to literacy and learning, they contributed $100,000. The Friends of the Library, very faithful friends, continually give support to over 12,000 library programs in the community every year. Their summer reading program alone helps thousands of children return to school better prepared to learn and succeed at the end of each summer. And finally, the Library Advisory Board helped make this day a reality by working with city, county, and state elected officials to let them know how beneficial this library would be to this community. Frankly, some of them, and I think you heard a little bit of it earlier, might say we badgered them. But our advocacy is all in the name of love, love for our community, and love for public libraries and the dedicated professionals who staff them. We are thrilled to have arrived at this day. We rejoice in the love and applaud the efforts that converged to make this groundbreaking a reality. The library here at Central and Unser, the southwest quadrant of the city, will be offering fundamental livability. It will be fundamental to the livability of the area. And it will sustain the community. This livability will sustain the community for decades to come.